cat sitting? What? More like dog sitting. Oh my goodness. This episode sucks. This episode involves Mr. Bean injuring Mrs. Wicket at the process once he's apparently going to pretend surfing in his bedroom. So the episode actually starts with Mr. Bean deciding to surfboard in his room, while Mrs. Wicket told Mr. Bean to be quiet. Unfortunately for that, Mrs. Wicket apparently gets the milk bottle, but he accidentally hurts Mrs. Wicket, injuring her arm in the process. Once Mrs. Wicket is sent to the hospital, one of the nurse carries Scrapper and places it on Mr. Bean's arms. It is currently known why Mr. Bean and Scrapper hate each other. Wow, just wow. Scrapper and Mr. Bean seriously hate each other, you know? You know what I even mean? And this episode is like the worst. According to the people's opinions, they said that Mr. Bean doesn't deserve this kind of torture and abuse that he had with Scrapper. Scrapper should either get sent to the pound or he should get sent by Ash and his gang, you know? So basically after that, Mr. Bean decides to feed Scrapper a lot of food. But somehow Mr. Bean fails at this. Scrapper decides to eat the cat food. But once Mr. Bean does something a little bit out of hand, things start to go wrong. And once Mr. Bean starts to clean the house, Scrapper puts the yarn balls into the vacuum cleaner. Wow! Just wow! What a stupid idea! Scrapper should know better than this, you know? You're not supposed to put yarn balls into a vacuum machine. You know, it will explode. Wow! And just wow! Scrapper just did this. What? We do not put anything which is related to yarn balls into a vacuum cleaner. But once Mrs. Wicket comes home, the vacuum cleaner explodes, and Mrs. Wicket just hurts Mr. Bean, injuring him in the process and going to the hospital again. Wow, just wow. I would give this episode a 0 out of 10 because Mr. Bean does not deserve this treatment. And I used to watch this episode before and I do not think this is funny. Mrs. Wicket would get sent to jail if she abuses Mr. Bean like that. And thank goodness I never watched that episode again. Because if I watch that episode, this is gonna remind me of when someone tries to abuse someone. So cat sitting for Mr. Bean sucks. And so does dead cat. Note, if you like this episode, I respect your opinion, as long as you respect mine. But anyways, Pizza Bean is so many times better than cat sitting. End of rant.